What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Snowman's Garage. I'm fixing my mistake from last episode here. I got my new carrier and I just pressed on my new carrier bearings here. Just used a little bit of like cam lube and pressed those on. Those went on nicely. And then I just put my new ring gear on. And my new ring gear came with these new bolts, but they came with lock washers, and it takes up quite a bit of your threads on there. So I ended up just using my old carrier bolts on there. So I got my ring gear on, and that's where I'm at right now. So next thing I did here is I seated these two races here, and just put a bunch of grease around the sides there, and then I used this. This isn't even the one I was using. I actually put it away, and then I grabbed a different one. But I used the proper one and hit it with a hammer to punch that down in there. And then I was having a little bit of trouble with. It was actually the other one. This one wasn't too bad, but I mean it wasn't quite straight. So I just used a punch and went around on all four sides until it was in there good, and then did the same on this side. So you got a bunch of globber and grease in there. On camera, it actually looks like it's not straight, but in real life it does. So I'm gonna roll with that. So yep, that's what I did. So we got some big news out of long racing here just this last week. You know, we're big time professional race car drivers now. So my dad decided he needed to buy a toterhome since he's got all this money, you know. This is it. I don't even know what year it is. I think it's like a 90s. It's a Kodiak GMC. He told me about a toterhome, and this is what he bought. Oh my gosh, I thought he actually bought a real toterhome, but I think it's a 5-speed. It actually runs really good. I'm not sure if it's got an 8.1 in it or a 454. I guess this is like my first time seeing it too. I'll show you the inside here. I said I was going to show you the inside, but I guess I'll show you a little bit more of the outside. It's got a ball hitch to pull he got a new trailer too, new enclosed trailer. We got a skull on there, we'll get rid of that, that's kind of ugly. But be prepared for the lap of luxury in this thing. So here it is. It needs a lot of work. I was expecting it to be actually like finished on the inside, but it doesn't even have a bathroom. Coors Light, hell yeah, brother! But evidently the tanks and everything are still here. And, you know, he didn't have enough on his plate with this drag car already. He needed another project. So there's actually not a whole lot of space in here now that I'm in here, but it's going to need to be totally redone. And, put a bed up here with an actual mattress. And, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's not too bad, but he's going to have to redo the whole inside. But it runs good, so. And I think he only paid like, I don't know. I'm just going to say a number here that I think he told me. But then I'm sure I'm wrong, so I'm going to put the words up on the video. I think he paid like $4,000 for this or something. It was dirt cheap. So it's low miles, runs good though. And this is the new trailer. I told you $4,000. I think he paid $4,000 for this trailer and that. I think it was $2,000 for the trailer, $2,000 for that, but I could be wrong. Which $2,000 for this trailer is a hell of a deal, actually. It's 2004, but it's in pretty good shape. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with it, but look at this. Comes with some free sheet metal. The guy didn't clean it out. Or he just didn't get around to cleaning it out, and my dad just said he'll toss the sheet metal. I don't know what they're doing with all the sheet metal, but obviously the inside's a little scuffed up and this and that, but it's a race trailer. I mean, she's solid. Yeah, so that's a hell of a deal there. So he got himself a toterhome and a race trailer. It might not be what you're thinking, but he has one. So now that I had that race in there, that bearing just slides right in there, and then this is a sealed bearing, so the seal just taps right down on there with this tool, same tool I was using yesterday. Just went right on there, make sure it's flush, and then it's time to put my yoke on there. And this is my new yoke. I'm just making sure it lines up here, which it does. And I'm not sure what size this is, if it's like a 33 millimeter or an 1.25 inches. And that's my new nut. Yeah, I didn't realize it came with a new nut, but an 1.25 inches fits it a lot tighter than it did on this nut. So that's what we'll use. So we put our pinion down in there, and then we put our yoke on, and I held it while I had my dad drill on it, just make sure there's no slop in this, and it's tight. And then I got this tool here that it's in Newton meters. I already did it, and I think we may have over tightened this a little bit. So you put this on here, and I did 2 full rotations, and this is supposed to be at 2. The second line here, and as you can see, it's kind of hard to tell, it's a little over 3, but I think we might just have to live with it, because I don't know, I don't want to take it off again, but I think that's where it should be good. There's no slop in it, and so we're just going to roll with it. So we were thinking we would be able to use these stock shims in here, which the carrier was just too wide. So it came with some shims, but we're testing our backlash here, and I don't know if you can see that, but we're at like 22 thousandths of an inch, and it needs to be between 0.007 and 0.009. So we got to add another shim in there to get the backlash correct. So we totally changed it up here. We had some different shims in there. We were at 22 thousandths of an inch, and we got down to 15. And then we tried to put a little one in, and we bent it. So we put 2 bigger ones in, and then this one just has one bigger shim, and then this one has a big one and a little one, because we were at, I think we were at 15, and then we put that little one in. And it says from 7 to 9 on the piece of paper, but then Google says from 6 to 10. But right now, what the heck? Oh, I think this fell down a little bit. But anyway, it was showing 10.
Yeah, we must have pushed it or something.
Something's messed up. I think that fell down, but we're at 10 thousandths of an inch of backlash, so we're just gonna have to run with that. We can't go any smaller to get 3 thousandths of an inch. So that'll have to work. I mean, there's just a tiny bit, so it's good. So that's what we got going on here. You're supposed to paint these and spin it around. It's supposed to look like a football, which I don't know if that looks like a football or not, but I think we're gonna roll with it. It's good enough. But I mean, look at the gears. I'll spin this yoke, and I feel like everything looks good. They mesh good, and I don't know. I don't know how I could possibly get another shim in there, and we were at 10 thousandths of an inch, so we're just gonna roll with it. Time to put my mini spool in. After a lot of finagling and messing around, finally got my spool in there. Now I'm just putting in my new axle seals. Use that same tool, just make sure they're flush. That's what I'm using. Just pound it in there. Well, I just found out these are some goddamn homosexual axle seals. They're powered by a fag. Well, take them out. That's kind of gay. So I put this axle in, and I was trying to get the C-clip down here in this spool, but they don't quite fit down in there. So we're gonna have to grind the sides off a little bit to get these C-clips to fit down in there. We're measuring them now to see what we gotta grind them down to. I painted the outside, but I never realized I never cleaned up the inside of this this old junkyard gear cover. So I used the old wire wheel to get that old gasket and stuff off. And I gotta clean up the inside a little bit, but yeah, that's what it looks like. So I found out I need to get some shorter bolts for my gear cover and then just put the gasket on there, and then that's ready to go in. But that's all the further I'll get on this episode of Snowman's Garage. Thanks for watching.